Hello, hello, hello. It's Kathy Bedell at mystampinspot.com coming to you today with Fun Fold Friday. So, if you were here this morning, I promised someone would win this awesome package of festive pearls. I believe they're called something else in the catalog. There was a misprint in the catalog. I don't have the catalog. Oh, I do have the catalog here. In the catalog, they were technically called, Oh, you know what I think? They were called something else initially. I think they fixed the printing on the newer packages they sent. Well, anyway, you will get a package of these, and I hate to open them up, but there is red under this tab, and then there's this green. It's a very almost minty green, the silver and the gold. So I said if you commented, I would put your name in a hat, and I would pick someone. And so I don't have a hat, but I do have a bucket. Well, what is it called? A basket. So I am just going to go ahead and you can see I have everybody's names here. So thank you to everyone that commented. KB, I spot you up there. Thanks for being here. Okay, so, there you are, KB. So we are going to just pick this first. Yay, she's back. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to create. And I have something fun. I don't know if you can hear my dog in the background. It's ringing the bell to go out, but I'm going to ignore him. So I am going to pick while it's moving, just because it's the best way I have of not seeing anything. Who did we get? Mary Hubbard. Congratulations, Mary. I'm going to send that to you. Okay. That will go out in the mail tomorrow, probably. There you go. Okay. Someone that comments today, hey, how are you? Thanks for being here, Karen, Joanna. Someone will win these before the end of today. All right. I'm going to just dump these names. So we have our basket fresh for after the fact. And I'm going to put my prize over there so I can't miss it. Okay, if you remember earlier today, we stamped and made this beautiful card with the beautiful stamp set Snow Crystals. And by accident, I reached for the clear embossing powder instead of the white. And this was just too pretty to throw away. So I thought I would turn this into a fun fold. How do you ask? I don't know. We're going to find out. So I don't need the stamp set. I'm going to put that aside. I did bring over my all bundled up because I thought he would be cute in front of that snowflake. Better let the dog out. Hey, Linda. Just reading some comments here. Oh, I know, rats. I want wintry mix. And what I did do was I pulled out, I know you guys see me use these all the time, but my scalloped contour dies, and I cut a couple in case I made a mistake on one. And I'm thinking this guy here is going to go on here. And we'll talk about that in a minute, so I'm going to set those aside. I brought out a Starry Sky and a Fresh Freesia ink pad, as well as a couple blending brushes. I brought out some assorted blends. We'll talk about the colors to color. And I also brought out the snowflakes because since I don't know what color, how I'm doing this fun fold yet, I thought it would be versatile to have these in case we need a little something else. God, so glad. Hey, Karen. And then, of course, we have the 2224 in color DSP. But I'm probably not going to be cutting it, although I don't know, I may be. Because we already have this piece that has been embossed. So, my first thought was to use these snowflakes and emboss one of these pieces. I'm going to put the other one over here safely. And I thought the little moose guy might be good. Maybe we could blend over this piece after we heat emboss. So, I am looking for a clear block. I'm sorry. And I need my tray and my white embossing powder. And I definitely have my white embossing powder this time. Okay, so I am just going to cover the top with snowflakes, I think. So I'm just going to use my embossing buddy at the top to help reduce static electricity. And I have my snowflakes. Gail, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Love the conversations going on between you guys. I think that's awesome. I'm going to set this piece aside. And let's ink up this stamp and see what we can do here. I don't know that we need a lot. And they're curved, so it could be a little more difficult. But I'm not going to worry about if they go off the page. I happen to like that look. And as I said earlier, you want to cover sooner rather than later. Now, incidentally, when you cover with embossing powder, you want to get the embossing powder on while the ink is still wet. But once the embossing powder is on it, it can sit for as long as you want it to, provided you don't touch it, because you can smudge it. All right, and now, what did I do with my little paintbrush? Where's my pen? Oh, here it is. This all comes with this embossing set, along with a pair of tweezers, awesome tweezers. I see a little bit of powder here. I just want to brush off. Other than that, it looks pretty good. So I am going to set this aside. I will deal with that later. And I'm going to set my brush up here. And I'm rudely going to use the dryer while we're here chatting. Now on the white, it's much more difficult to see it change, but you will, I hope. It's going to get a little shinier, a little darker. This technique we're using is going to be called Emboss Resist. Okay, see how it just whitened up there? This snowflake up here, it got a lot whiter than like this one over here. That's how I know that snowflake is done. And again, I would caution you that you can actually burn the embossing powder. Believe it or not, it turns a little bit of... I don't have a bird. My window is open. It's a very cool, rainy day, and my stamp room is a little stuffy. And because I talk so much in these videos, I'm a blabbermouth, I sometimes get really warm. So just before I went live, I opened my window, and you can hear the birds outside. It's a nice place to work, isn't it? I'm telling you, between the beautiful fall foliage and the birds, my life is awesome. Okay, we're going to let that cool just a minute. We'll put that stamp aside. Then we're going to blend. So, I have my Fresh Freesia. They are beautiful snowflakes, Karen. And I have my Starry Sky because that's the color of the DSP that we embossed earlier with the clear snowflake. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to come in. Oh, wrong color. Look at that. That's okay. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to just rub that color off until we see no color. And then I can put it in my Fresh Freesia without worrying about contaminating it. Normally I would say don't. This is why I never open 2 ink pads at once. Don't worry, KB. This is just printer paper. It's not cardstock today. You and Karen, they're my local stampers, and they always ride me for using good cardstock as scrap paper. So here I am. All right, I'm just trying to get as much of that Starry Sky out. Boy, I really put a lot of ink on that, didn't I? Okay, now I'm coming back down to the pink, actually. So I am going to go ahead and put in my Fresh Freesia. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the bottom part white. And when you sponge, start off the page so that the harshest point is, see that how much darker that is there compared to here? If you start off the page, then you don't get like those big blobs. Is that a word? Blob? Like this. There we go. And like I said, I'm going to leave the very bottom white as if it's snow. Kind of like he's on the horizon, sitting on the snow. Because I think I'm going to cut that moose guy out. I have to tell you, I made the mistake. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to close this up. I made the mistake with that clear embossing powder on that DSP. But then I was very excited because that really got my creative juices flowing. Oh, son of a gun, look at my fingers. Son of a gun. I need a cloth. I need a cloth. I need a cloth. Where's my cloth? Oh, I see my cloth. It really... I'll cover him up with the moose later. Pat, I know it is precious. I know. And truthfully, what you don't see is usually there might be a little something on the other side, or it has a bend in it. But I'm trying not to use the bent pieces. Okay, so this is called Emboss Resist. I'm coloring right over the snowflakes, and then we're going to give the snowflakes a rub. So I'm hoping to cut my moose out and put them over that, so we won't even see that, hopefully. And the more I add color, oh my goodness, I really have this ink everywhere. It's on my fingernail. I did good to myself, didn't I, today? So, I'm not a girly girl. You know, I kind of played more sports and stuff in high school. I was not the one that was... I mean, that's not to say I didn't wear dresses and all that, but having my nails done was never high on my priority. But when I started doing videos, I kind of said to my husband, I need to make this a priority. I feel like it needs to be done. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I went last week to have my nails done, and she was commenting about the dirt under my fingernails, and I was like, yeah, that's not dirt, that's ink. Okay. Hurry, grab a Tombow sand eraser. Do you think it would work, Karen? I don't know. You love when I make mistakes. You know what? We're all in this together, and it is what it is. Okay, so let me show you something, guys. I don't know if it's going to work, KB, because it's over, but we're going to try it because it's over another color. But a fellow demonstrator... Betty, who sometimes is on here, introduced me to these, and I found them on Amazon, and they're called a sand eraser. I had never heard of one, and I know if you get like a halo around an image, as long as it's not too dark, you can actually erase it off the white paper. I don't know what's going to happen with it on the color, so let's experiment and find out. Let's see if it lightens up. I'm not afraid of ruining this because, like I said, I'm hoping to put the moose over it. So let's see. There may be a mad rush to Amazon this afternoon if this works. So it is pulling up the pink color as well, I think. But, you know, we can always go back and add a little more pink if we had to. It's definitely working. You guys have them too. So where have I been? Under a rock. Oh, I hope your son has fun at camp. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so it did take off a little of the pink. I'm going to go back in with my pink blend. I'm not going to even re-ink it. I'm just going to add a little over it. But I have to tell you the truth, it's not going to matter because, like I said, if my card works out the way I think, the moose is going over it. Okay. Now, I think I can get rid of this. All right. Now, oh, look at the ink. Look at the ink. I don't know what I did here. Well, I can tell you what, now I have a whole bunch of white scrap cardstock. I'm going to pull those pieces out right away so that we don't get something else inked. All right. Now, the real question is, what color background paper do we like? Do we like it on the Fresh Freesia? Do we like it on the white? What do you think, you guys? So this is the Starry Sky cardstock. Nope, too dark. This is the Fresh Freesia cardstock. I do like that. Although, now that I say that, I brought over red markers for his hat. Karen says white. Pat says Freesia. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I have an idea. Oh, I do kind of like that. But I have an idea. My cutter. Let me grab my cutter. So, my thought, because it's supposed to be a Fun Fold Friday, was have this be part of the card base and have this be a flap that opens over it, like that. So you'll open this way and you'll open this way. That was my thought. We're going to see how that works out. What's a freshman card base? Do a freshman card base. I'm going to have to look that up, Karen. I never heard of that. Okay, so I am going to start with the Freesia. Let's see here. Let's see here. Hi, Charlie. Nope, Charlie. No. Charlie wants to be on camera. Okay, so we're going to do 4 1/4 scored. And we're going to cut 5 1/2. Like this. To make our card base. Okay. And then we want something a little narrower. So I am going to do... Let's see, how about... So what I'm looking to do is get to the stitch marks on this contour die. So that would be about 2 3/4 by about 4. And I have to write that down because I will forget. And in case I make a mistake, I don't have to go back and remeasure it. So 2 3/4 by 4. So my thought is, here's the 4. Let's see, 4 is this way. So we actually want it to be 8. So I am, well, not 8. I'm going to do 4 this way. I'm going to cut 4 this way. So I'm going to put this score line at 4 because this is going to be my hinge. And I'm going to cut the 1/4 inch off that side. Then I am going to take my hinge and go over about, I don't know, maybe 1.5 inches because that's what's going to be glued down inside. Okay? And then we're going 2 3/4 this way. I know I've totally confused you, but let me show you. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Oh, I scored it the wrong way. But now I wonder. Actually, maybe from the top. Like so. Oh, there. I like that. Okay. That's what I'm going with right there. Okay, so that said, I'm going to leave that aside for a second. I am going to put 4 1/8. We're going to use white and Freesia behind this blue piece by 5 3/8 because I think this will look awesome. And we're going to trim this snowflake piece down. What is the eraser used from Amazon? Hey, Fran. Supposed to be Freesia color base card stock. Yeah, I think it will be. It is. Let me get the package for you, Fran. I bought the Tombow. That's what I ordered off Amazon. And they had several multi-packs. They had all kinds of things. So I'm going to cut this down to a solid 4 by 5 1/4. Like this. And, okay, I think I can put my cutter away temporarily. Gosh, if you guys can bear with me through all this, I do not make it easy to follow, do I? Because I am so impromptu here. Okay, so we have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of In Color DSP that we have used clear embossing powder to do the great big snow crystal image. I am putting that on a 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 piece of, that's bigger than that. Did I move the wrong piece? Something's wrong. Hold on. Something's wrong. I don't trust myself here before I adhere this down. So this is 4 1/8. Curious. Something by 5 3/8. Alright, I guess that's right. And I broke this. I didn't really break it. It'll pop right back on. But okay, so boy, does that look like more than 1/8 of an inch there, or what? And then hopefully, oh yeah, okay, there we go. Then I am going to adhere this to my Fresh Freesia 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. I will write these directions up and put them on my blog over the weekend so that you can find them there. I'll take a picture and link it all for you next week. Okay, now I need to put the arm back on my cutter, which is simple. It just pops in at the top and at the bottom. It has a similar peg at the bottom, which I know you can't see, but trust me. I want to cut another piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. This is going to go on the inside, and this is going to help to hide the little flap that we're going to glue in there. Okay. So, now, here's the tricky part. I don't know if I really like the way that looks. I would like to, oh, okay. Here's the problem with my plan. If I put this up here like this, and I line this snowflake up, this is going to be bigger than a standard card and probably won't fit in the envelope. So let me find an envelope and see if that would fit. I have one right over here. Where do I have one? I had one right here earlier. Okay. This is what I'm hoping shows up. Oh, but look, if I do that, I've covered up my whole embossing snowflake. Nope, I need to go back this way. Autocorrect strikes again. Okay, I need to go back this way so that you see the snowflake image. So I need to recut. Autocorrect. I need to recut this piece of Fresh Freesia. So see, this is why I wrote down my directions. So we need it to be, I have a piece of scrap here. We need it to be 4, but I actually need it wider than that because I need an extra inch to score. So I need it to be 5. By 2 3/4. And then I'm going to score 1 inch, and that'll be the little flappy piece on the inside of my card that we're going to hide under the white. At least you know I mean it when I say I don't pre-do these. Maybe you wish I would. And I totally understand that. Okay, so this is going to go, I did it again. I keep doing that? I did it again. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Okay. It should be 2 3/4 plus an inch. So 3 3/4 is what I need. So I'm going to cut that at 3 3/4. Yeah, Linda. Sometimes it's a sad me. Okay, so 2 3/4 is how wide I want it. So I cut 3 3/4 and I scored it at an inch. Then we are going to cut at 4. And then, these are great for punches. Use those for punch pieces. That's what I do. Okay. Yay! Kathy finally did it. Hooray! Okay. So now the question is, here, again, will this fit in a standard envelope? Let's find out. I guess we could just tuck it just over the edge like that. And let's see if that fits in a standard envelope. Oh, and it does. Just barely, but it does. It does. You're going to have to recrease the envelope like that. But, you know, sometimes you have to do things. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere this down. Now, I might make a suggestion. You may want to use Seal Plus for this, or your Tombow white glue. However, I'm not going to. And I am intentionally putting it closer to the bottom, just so that you can see more of the snowflake when the card is closed. Like that. Okay. Now, I am going to come and put this piece on the inside. Boy, thanks for hanging with me, guys. It's taken a long time to get here, hasn't it? All right, there we go. This piece is going to go on here, like so, and I'm going to line that right at the edge, like that. What I'm going to do here is I am going to add adhesive here. And again, I'm going to put it right to the edge so that we don't have... Actually, I'm actually going to let that purple show through the scallops. So then you don't even have to worry about the envelope. It will fit nice. Okay, that is our basic card. Now we need to go from here. Black ink, Memento. So this little guy, I just love him. Do you love him? I just love him. This little guy, I'm going to ink up, and he's a big guy, so I'm going to ink this way. Now these don't have dies, much to my chagrin. There we go. I have so many stamp pads around here right at the moment. So much clutter. Okay. We are going to use light and dark red. No, I'm sorry, not red. This is cherry cobbler. Have you guys ever noticed that cherry cobbler looks more like real red than real red? At least that's my impression. Probably get in trouble from Stampin'Up for saying that. Okay, and this is one of the the natural, like, skin tone colors that are in the annual catalog. This is 500 and 600. And then I'm using the natural skin tone colors. This is 100 and 200. Oh, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. By the magic of TV, I have him colored. I'm just going to show you how to add. Now, I'm sitting down, so if you comment right now, I may not see you. I'll go back after. I'm going to show you how to come in and color his scarf to get a little more definition. I'm going to turn him this way in hopes that you can see him. All I'm going to do, his scarf, if you look, is kind of checked. So I'm going to make those seam lines look a little darker just by running. I'm going to go to my narrow end here. Just by going over those lines, it'll create natural shading like this. And I'm going to go along the outside of his hat a little bit. And I'm just going to, that's one good thing about Stampin' Up. They kind of help you figure out the shading with the lines on the stamps. And it kind of gives it a puffier, quiltier look to it. There we go. I think I'm going to come around the outside here a little bit, just to darken that up. Okay, so let me point out a couple things I did here when I was coloring. Karen, I lost you. You of all people, Karen, I lost. I'll print up the directions. Don't worry. I want to point out how I created kind of a knee shape here by running a darker marker and then picking it up over here and kind of creating like a little rounded V there, okay? And over here, I created the depth by dropping the marker off and picking it back up here at the bottom, okay? I just wanted to point that out. And then I went darker all around the scarf and along his back and his face. I brought in the real dark color, like around his nose, and I used the two darker blends. The 1 in 200 up on his, what are those called? Are they called antlers on moose? I know they are on deer, but I don't know what they're called. Rack? Is it called a rack? And then I used the 3 in 400 for the body. I first looked at soft suede, but I have to tell you, let me show you the soft suede color on this guy. I wasn't totally in love with the soft suede color. I'll color him a little bit just to show you. I wanted him a little more warm in color. This is a little cooler color. I'll just show you here the difference, just so you can see. Obviously, I'm not coloring all of them, but see how this is a little cooler? The soft suede versus the natural skin tones. I kind of liked the caramelly color that this guy had. So his hat is light cherry cobbler, and I went over the like stitching lines with the dark to get that. All right. Let's pop him up on this piece. Oh, one more thing. Let's do this. See how I have some white? I can't really color in there. Here's what I'm going to do there. I'm going to take that brush, and I am ever so lightly going to just hit in there. I need the ink pad. So I am very carefully just picking ink up on the tip, and I am just going to dab in there lightly. It's not going to change the color of his leg or the marker, but it helps him to blend in, for that to blend in just a little bit like that. I think I'll darken it a little bit more. I don't know if you can see, I'm kind of using the top rounded edge. And I have, a fair amount of ink on there. There, I think that's probably pretty. There we go. See? See how you can hide that white in there by doing that? Mary, how are you? All right, let's pop this guy up on some dimensionals. He needs quite a few, I think. Oh, look. You guys will be proud. KB and Karen, look, see? That's a stamped word behind there. This was the scrap paper that I used this morning that I chose to stamp and color him on. So when you see me using cardstock, it's not always the brand new shiny. Sometimes it is. I'll admit. There we go. Now we just need a greeting. Okay, I think I am going to put a panel in here. So this we know, because I wrote it down, this we know is 2 3/4 by 4. So I'm going to back that up just a little bit to 3 5/8. Again, I'll put all these on the on my website. So 2 3/4. So 1/8 left would be 2 5/8. See how that looks? That fits. And I am going to take a piece of DSP. Oh, I wonder if this will work. Let's see. This was scrap I had cut off earlier. Little narrow. I'll save that for something else. Take another piece of DSP and we're going to back it up 1/8 of an inch. So we have 2 5/8. So we're going to go to 2 1/2. We started at 4. We went to 7/8. So we're going to 3 3/4. Oh, KB. You are so sweet. Thank you, thank you. I have to tell you, that mess up this morning, and KB, you said to me, oh, but that's so beautiful, you could still use that. You totally inspired me to create today. Or to really be into creating today. Sometimes I feel at a loss for inspiration, but not today. I'm going to open this up. So the key here is I want to make sure it doesn't go over my score line, which I don't think it will. That just helps it to be not so plain. And how about we bring over one of these snowflakes. These are the, what are these called? These are the wonderful snowflakes. I love these. You know what? I'm going to check something out. I'm going to see what it looks like in the Fresh Freesia color. So these snowflakes, one side is very iridescent. Thank you for the coloring comment. One side is very iridescent. And the other side is a little more matte in color. It's not a little more, it's very matte in color. So you can add color to the back. Now, I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to like this, but I figure I'll experiment and see what it looks like. You just have to be really gentle because these are super easy to rip. So that's why you'll notice I'm leaving it intact to color, and then I will pull it out. There we go. Oh, look. You can also, look at that. Well, now, how cool is that? This could totally be a masking technique you could use. So if you color a snowflake, put a piece of, like a white layered piece underneath that you could use for a different card, and you've got 2 components made all at once. How awesome is that? Found out that by mistake. This was not a known fact. Wouldn't that be a beautiful background to something? Yes, KB, a stencil. Okay, so I'm going to pull this little guy out now. I'll pull it off from this side. Here. This little piece here is so easy to rip off, so you really have to be gentle. In case I hadn't said that 50 times yet. And what do you think? The white or the pink? Gosh, that's kind of pretty, isn't it? I don't know. Or do you like the iridescent? I feel like something needs to be over here. Ooh. Maybe a little raccoon guy. I don't know if he would fit, though. His tail is too wide, I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. All right, tell me what you think. Do you like the freesia against it, or do you like the iridescent white? You tell me that. I don't have all my blends over here. I don't have my blacks and grays over here, or else I would stamp this critter and put him here. They're on another table. Pink with a rhinestone in the center. Okay, so I'm going to leave this side blank for the raccoon. And Joanna says both. And I'm going to put that little pink snowflake in there as a little surprise. Now what I'm going to do here is, I know you've all seen this, I put a ribbon on one blending brush. This one is pretty gooped up. And I put some glue on a scrap piece, put it on this side. And I'm going to put my snowflake over here. I'm going to pick up some glue, and I am going to... So we're just making it tacky. It will stay plenty fine. And I'm going to put it down over here just to get some... So I don't want to put it back on this glue that may have gone through the snowflake, the way the ink did. Let's set this aside. Now, I didn't bring one over because I wasn't planning on doing this. The silicone mat is the best thing for this. So let's put this little snowflake in here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm putting this little snowflake in here. There we go. I like that. And while that's drying, I am pulling another snowflake to add more glue to put it on the front. My fingers are so sticky right now from this little glue, but that's okay. We're going to make this work. We're going snowflake happy, girls. This is like, here's my glue, but I'm actually going to use this piece to add the glue. So I'm going to put the iridescent snowflake on the front side. This is the best way to add this white glue, honestly. I'm going to put this on the front side, like so. That'll be a little surprise when you open that. Let me move this here so this doesn't get ruined. Okay, where's my little cloth? Get the glue. Hi, the UK. Holy smokes, you are a long way away. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have our mousse here, our snowflake here. If I had brought my black blends over, this raccoon would be unbelievably cute on this panel. And then we have our surprise snowflake inside. So let's see how we can add our greeting now. I think You're the Coolest, and I'm going to stamp it in Starry Sky. Whoa! Boy, I am just trying to get this ink on me today. Yes, it will fit in the envelope, Mary, because I lined the scallop edge up with the edge of the card. So it will. It's thick. It's thick. This is no cheesy card here you're given. You better really like the person that you're giving this to if you give this one away. But yes, it does fit in the envelope. Okay. I'm going to stamp You're the Coolest. You could stamp Merry Christmas. You could stamp a lot of things. But I'm just going to do that because I'm hoping... Oh, I'm hoping to find a pre-die cut shape that will work. Let's see what we have. Ooh. Maybe that? Does that fit? Oh, I think the stamp is going to fit on that. So this is a stitched shape die. Maybe a greeting should go in here. Ooh. Maybe the greeting in here, so it doesn't detract from the front. Oh, if it's still closed with the rhinestones, I gotcha. Well, you know what? I think it will if we choose a flat one. And you know what? I just made a decision. The raccoon would be really cute inside, but these are the All That dies. And I'll tell you what, I am going to put that on that inside panel. That's not to say that if you put the raccoon on the inside of the panel, it wouldn't be gorgeous. It would be. But I kind of really just like the plain look of the front. I kind of like that it doesn't have a greeting there. So I'm going to hope that this stamps straight. Oh, it goes this way. So these are the all that dies. Put that like that. Straight first time. How about that? There is a first time for everything. And I'm going to put this flush because we already have a lot of bulk going on here. I'm not going to add dimensionals on the inside. I'm going to put that up there. Okay, and last but not least, what did I do with those little pearl accents that I had earlier? Remember the ones I was using earlier? They're on this desk somewhere. If you could see my desk right now, boy oh boy. This little gig has made it extremely messy. A lot of fun though, right? Let me take this piece away so you can see. And here's the card we made earlier, that the mess up with that snowflake, the embossed snowflake, kind of brought on this card. So I am looking for, here they are. These are the opal rounds, and these are a little flatter and softer. They're not like sharp raised, so I think we could put one there. And so I am going to. And my friend Jen, when I was going through comments to collect names for the prize winner, whoops, you know, it'd help if you got one that actually had adhesive on it that you didn't pull off. I need my scissors. There we go. My friend Jen, I noticed when I was going through getting names for the comments for the prize for the first video from this morning, she said, oh, I totally would have put one in the center of the snowflake. And Jen, you are right. I absolutely should have put one in the center of that snowflake. So I'm going to do that now. Like that. Because sometimes your ideas are awesome. There we go. I think we're done. What do you think? I mean, that's about as different as you could get with the same starting, just different embossing powders. Hi, Sue. How are you? Yeah, Karen, I was going to put the words off to the side, but I kind of didn't want to distract from how cute he was. All right. So if you try to remake this card, you might want to put this cute little raccoon here. But I kind of like the words by themselves. And then you just have the simple snowflake inside. So I will get all these measurements written up at some point over the weekend, and I will get them on my blog. And I think we will do the same thing we did this morning. I think I will pull a winner for the... Oh, I love all the hearts, guys. Thank you. Sometimes I feel so humbled. Festive Pearls. One of you that have commented, I'll send you these festive pearls. Let's see. Mary Hubbard won this morning's pearls. So, Mary, I'll be sending those to you. I have your address. And I think Mary's in California, if I remember correctly. So, someone that comments, say, you know, by like midnight tonight or so. When I get up first thing in the morning, I will do the same thing. I'll put everybody's name that commented on little slips of paper. I'll come on live. I won't do a card in the morning because I actually have to be out of here early. But I will, oh, look at it, I got an extra. I will come on live and I will draw the name. And someone will be this. We'll get this lucky pack of Festive Pearls. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today. And I know he's such a cute mouse, isn't he, Pat? I love him. I love him. Jody, thanks for coming. Oh, thank you. That's sweet. Okay, so I just want to comment. We are down to the end. We are closing this month's Christmas Club. It comes with all the inside detail pieces. Don't mind all my notes inside. I apologize. But you get all those pieces. You get this cute little fun fold. Oh, look. It's the same shape. And everything's die cut. This is that gorgeous vellum paper. and you'll, all the embellishments inside, plus you get $25 worth of product, which this month is a half pack of the Santa DSP, a half pack of this vellum paper, a spool of ribbon, and some bling. So this is the last couple days to order this because it mails out at the end of next week. Same thing with the, this is very similar to what we did here. That must be my new favorite fun fold. This is my Stamp Club by mail. Again, this goes out at the end of next week, and you get, again, $25 worth of product. This is the Textured Chic DSP paper. A lot of people have been asking me what paper that is. So that's Textured Chic, and I really had to force myself to use it. These cards all have nice details inside. This class comes with a half pack of this paper. This is the beautiful something rose. It's in the annual catalog. So you'll get a cluster of flowers, and you just have to cut out this flower and color it. I used blends for this. You'll get a package of the heart-shaped basic pearls. You get the little string. All these pieces of die cut. You get the pieces of bling you need. You get the ribbon you need. Plus, you get a half pack of this beautiful paper. A full package of these heart-shaped pearls. So, anyway, last weekend, I'm going to send one last email out. If you have ordered, or if you are ordering, $35 worth of product gets you my make and takes. And those will start going out next week. So, okay. Abigail Rose. Yes, Mary, thank you. Abigail Rose. All right. So, the links to those clubs that I just showed you are at the top of the post. Or maybe it's at the bottom of the post when you see it. I'm not sure, but it's there. And this was fun, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, KB, for inspiring me when I messed up with the clear embossing. If you didn't see how we made this, scroll down the page. It's there. Okay. I will see you all early in the morning. It'll probably be about 8 a.m. I will pull names. Anybody that's commented by then will get in the draw, and I'll ship these out tomorrow. All right, guys. Have a great night. Thank you. Bye.